Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. I'm diving deep into the real story behind the State of the Union's transgender guests, and I'm challenging myself to uncover the truth that's often overlooked. Their stories presented by President Trump painted a concerning picture of transgender people and their impact on society.
3 years ago, Peyton McNabb was an all-star high school athlete, one of the best, preparing for a future in college sports. But when her girls' volleyball match was invaded by a male, he smashed the ball so hard in Peyton's face, causing traumatic brain injury, partially paralyzing her right side and ending her athletic career. It was a shot like she's never seen before. She's never seen anything like it. Peyton is here tonight in the gallery, and Peyton, from now on, schools will kick the men off the girls' team or they will lose all federal funding.
But are these narratives accurate? Today, we're diving deep to uncover the truth and expose the misinformation surrounding these particular cases. It's crucial to examine the facts and consult reliable sources to get a clear understanding of what's really going on here. By doing so, we can separate the fact from fiction and reveal the motives behind these stories. This is especially important when it comes to issues that affect marginalized communities, as misinformation can have devastating consequences. It's also essential to recognize that these narratives have been shaped and presented in a way that fit a particular political agenda. By understanding this context, we can better comprehend the purpose behind these stories and why they're being told in a particular way. Furthermore, it's vital to consider the potential impact of these narratives on transgendered individuals and the wider LGBTQ community. By perpetuating harmful stereotypes and misinformation, these stories can contribute to a climate of fear, discrimination, and violence. Let's start with Peyton McNabb. According to President Trump, McNabb, a high school athlete, suffered a career-ending injury from a transgendered volleyball player. This claim was used to fuel the argument against transgender athletes participating in sports. However, a closer look reveals a different story. McNabb did experience a head injury during a volleyball game in 2022 when an opponent spiked a ball and it hit her face. While it was initially reported as a career-ending injury, McNabb went on to compete and complete seasons in both softball and basketball just 7 weeks later. There's footage and statistics available that show she continued her athletic career after the incident. It's important to clarify that while the opposing player was initially described as transgender in some reports, this was never confirmed. And many of the students at McNabb's school have stated that the opponent was a female athlete. This incident had a significant impact on the school and the community, leading the school board to forfeit all future games against any team with a suspected transgender athlete. It's crucial to note that McNabb is now a paid spokesperson for the Independent Women's Forum, It's an organization actively lobbying against transgender rights. The IWF pushes for policies that ban essential health care for transgendered people, forcing schools to out gay students without their consent and to relocate detainees to facilities that don't match their gender identity. These actions contradict their claims of protecting women, and it raises serious concerns about their motives. By using McNabb's story, the IWF aims to garner support for a broader agenda, which seeks to restrict the rights and the freedoms of transgendered people in various aspects of life, extending well beyond sports. Now, as for January Littlejohn,
Thank you. My administration is also working to protect our children from toxic ideologies in our schools. A few years ago, January Littlejohn and her husband discovered that their daughter's school had secretly socially transitioned their 13-year-old little girl. Teachers and administrators conspired to deceive January and her husband while encouraging her daughter to use a new name and pronoun.
January Littlejohn presented her story as an example of a school transitioning a child without parental approval. Littlejohn sued the Leon County School District in Florida, claiming that they discussed bathrooms and name change requests with her child without her consent. However, public records tell a different story. Emails reveal that Littlejohn was aware of and involved in her child's transition. In one email, she even states, and I quote, she is currently identifying as non binary. She would like to go by new name and prefers the pronouns they and them. We have not changed her name at home yet. But I told her if she wants to go by the name with her teachers, I won't stop her. End quote from the parent's email. So, despite these records, Littlejohn continued to pursue legal action against the school district. The Manhattan Institute filed an amicus brief supporting Littlejohn's appeal, arguing that social transition is an active intervention and that parents have the right to be informed and involved in these decisions. This case raises complex legal questions about parental rights, student rights to privacy, and self expression, and the role of schools in supporting transgender and non binary students. Furthermore, President Trump's executive order denying federal funding for K through 12 schools that socially transition a child's gender added another layer to this issue. The order could create a hostile environment for transgendered students, exasperating already existing inequalities. It also raises concern about the government overstepping its boundaries and interfering with the rights of a parent and the student to make decisions about their own lives and identities. The stories of Peyton McNabb and January Littlejohn, as presented at the State of the Union, are not what they seem. By carefully examining the facts and consulting reliable sources, we can see that these narratives have been manipulated to fit a particular political agenda. This agenda seeks to create fear and division by portraying transgender people as a threat to women and children. These narratives are not only misleading, but they're also dangerous as they can contribute to a climate of discrimination and violence against transgender individuals. It's crucial to recognize the harm that these stories can cause and to challenge the motivations behind them. It's essential to remember that transgender people are not a threat. They deserve the same rights, respects, and opportunities as everyone else. We must challenge misinformation and advocate for policies that protect and support marginalized communities. What are your thoughts on this? Share your opinions in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you can stay informed of updates and my latest videos. Let's continue the conversation and let's work towards a more inclusive and informed society. Until next time, stay curious and stay informed.